So a while ago I was sitting at my desk, which is pretty much every day I've existed, but this time it was a little different. It was a mess. There were cables going everywhere, random sticky notes and paper scattered around the place. I really let it go downhill. And you know what? I was tired of it. This sparked a passion and drive that rarely occurs, and I embarked on a 2-day furniture-moving, cable management cleaning spree that turned out pretty well. Here's a little before and after for you, rate my setup. After all this, I went back to my desk, opened Steam, and booted up Power Wash Sim, played that for a very brief 5 or 6 hours. I actually did, I really did play it for like 6 hours. Somewhere in this trance of power washing, I realized that after spending 2 whole days of my life cleaning, I willingly decided to play a video game about cleaning. And this led to a variety of thoughts, such as, why is cleaning so fun? Why don't I just clean more in real life? Man, I really want a nice power washer. How much does that cost? Like 300 bucks? 700? What are the specs on a power washer? I don't really know. How do you check if it's good? But then I remembered that existentialism is for nerds. Take those questions and throw them in the trash. That's for the raccoons, you doofus. You gotta raise your spirits a little. Have you even listened to Float On by Modest Mouse? Because if you did, you know that we all float on okay. There are many different types of cleaning games, which of course is very common knowledge, and I didn't just come up with vague groups to structure this video. The first of which being the real ones. And you know what these are, the simulators, the big boys, games that take cleaning to a whole new level, debatably a whole new galaxy. And there isn't a better game to start with than Viscera Cleanup Detail, a finely crafted classic, and I have quite a bit of experience under my belt in this one. Please God send help. Sadly, this game was given the treatment of what many know as a tuber game, which means a bunch of people just yelled really loud while playing it terribly.
No! Oh, come on! What? I'm not doing anything! Oh my god, I have an anal probe! Can I go shove this up someone's ass?
Now for the enlightened folk, such as me, Viscera Cleanup Detail is more than just flailing around a bunch of dead fellas. Well, actually, to be fair, that is a lot of the game, and it probably puts you on a list you don't want to be on. But regardless, I got pretty good at cleaning up people who are very much not alive. And I've got a few Employee of the Month plaques to prove it. Oh my god, I have more of these than I remembered. Now comes the big shocker. Yeah, it's the part that'll make you gasp in amazement. It'll be kind of like, or maybe like, there's more beneath the yucky surface of this game. In each level of Viscera, you're tasked with cleaning up the aftermath of an absolute massacre. Like this one level where you have to clean up some elves because Santa had a little too much of the eggnog, if you know what I'm saying. As you clean, you'll find many letters scattered around the level detailing the disaster that occurred, as well as some name tags for those who had a nice time with Santa. These are important because at the end you can fill out this survey to describe what all went down, who died, how they died, and various other details. To help the player out with this task, there's an iPad Notes app, which is an absolute godsend. I'm not going to remember who John Stewart the elf was and how they were murdered in a reindeer stable if I can't write it down in my iPad. This is why I like Viscera. It feels like solving a little murder mystery. I get to be Nancy Drew and the cleanup crew. And to the game's credit, there's also more to cleaning than frantically flailing a mop. You can get extra points from doing all sorts of stuff around the map, like stacking barrels and boxes in the correct zones, and keeping track of details like how many bullet holes were in the wall or how many bullet casings you found. A few levels have secret items and Easter eggs, both the video game kind of Easter egg and actual Easter eggs, and you can collect them for decorating your office, like this Minecraft pickaxe. I really sat there and hit this rock for a while. Why did I do that? It's kind of loud. Oh, and of course, the game has co-op, but it's actually kind of awful. The physics are hot, sticky dog barf. I don't know if it's an Unreal 3 physics issue in multiplayer, but this is some reality-defying nightmare math going on here. It's real bad. I ran my mouth off a bit too much on this game, but it was all okay. I give Viscera 4 coupons out of 5. It's a pretty good game. Power Wash Simulator is a recent addition to the cleaning sim space, and it's a bit more straightforward. The only expectation you could possibly have going into this game is the power washing better be good, and oh boy, it's pretty good. It's stupidly satisfying to play this game, and the fact that cleaning virtual dirt slowly for hours creates dopamine will most likely be my downfall. There's a shop where you can buy a variety of nozzles and upgrades, as well as some cosmetics. You know I'm rocking the donut skin though, I mean look at that thing. It's got sprinkles. You'll find yourself cleaning a variety of things like a skate park or a van, and there's a ton of variety in locations. It's a neat game, but one thing I can't stop thinking about is the audio settings menu. And I know that sounds ridiculous. How could an audio settings menu stand out in any way? It's just like volume controls, right? Like what's so crazy about it? Look at this. There are 11 audio sliders. You could sit here and fine-tune power washer audio like it's an EQ. Oh, this water reverb mix, I think that needs up a little bit. There we go. I think that's about right. And the water tone, oh, let's break. Anyone who plays this game is obviously looking for a deep and intricate story, and those invested in the lore of Power Wash Sim, don't worry. I found out there's a game theory. What the hell is this even about? How could you make an 18-minute video about Power Wash Sim? All right, hold on, I gotta watch this. I regret watching that. I don't know why I did that. That sucked. It was like about volcanoes and how you're the villain or like the power. Don't watch that video. How did this get 4 million views? So I give Power Wash Sim 3 CVS receipts out of 3. It's a masterpiece of our time. Now, House Flipper kind of looks like soggy newspaper. It's not a great looking game, but hear me out because it's a pretty fun time. There's a couple different types of jobs in this game, the first of which is mail requests. These are shorter jobs that have all sorts of variety. This person needs me to turn a house into a kindergarten. Tony here wants to forget his grandma was real, and our pal Steve has a house with the usual post-war bunker. Classic Steve. The next mode is part of an HGTV DLC, so if you ever wanted to be one of the Boise Boys, this is your time. Go on, buddy. Walk on that stage and be the Boise boy you were meant to be. And the browser is where you can buy up a bunch of houses and flip them. Now all these jobs have a lot of cleaning involved, but also renovation tasks like painting, adding furniture, or in good old Bunker Steve's case, he just wanted me to buy him like 5 jars of peanut butter. I got paid way too much to buy this guy some groceries, but hey, it was worth it just to learn some sleight of hand. Now sometimes when you buy up these houses, there's also leftovers that you can sell, like a rug or some worn down furniture or something, or an entire fucking car, I guess. When doing all this, you'll get points to upgrade your skills, so that's kind of fun, and overall it's pretty satisfying to clean up and renovate stuff in this game. It controls kind of bad, and for some reason one of the updates made opening the tablet menu stutter super bad. But overall House Flipper is pretty good, and it definitely cornered the market for the Boise Boys. 3 out of 5 Boises. Diaries of a Spaceport Janitor is something I got years ago in a Humble Bundle and completely forgot about owning, like half of my Steam library. But I found it again while searching for games for this video and decided to give it a shot. It was quite the experience. I booted up the game and I was asked what god I want to worship, and obviously I chose the one named Beb, because I mean, it's named Beb. I then briefly walked around before buying an eye from someone, entering the sewer dungeon, as you do, and I walked up to a door and it played the THQ noise really loudly. And then I got cursed by a floating skull, and now he follows me everywhere and makes really stupid noises. So the game was off to a pretty typical start, as you could tell. I began my cleaning job the next morning where I'd pick things up and incinerate them for money, attempting to get enough to afford a meal. While picking up trash, I found things that didn't really look like garbage, so I picked them up and kept them. And then that night, I wrote my first diary entry. I picked up trash. It was really something. Also, a skull screamed at me. A lot. I woke up the next morning and would you look at that, it's the day. My favorite day of the week. On this day I discovered a lovely band playing some pretty groovy tunes. That was the only good thing that happened. I also swapped my gender to poison, but luckily I was immune, so that's good. Until later that night where I puked on my floor a lot and went to bed. I cleaned, whoa, listened to some baller-ass tunes, ate a spicy bar thing, and puked in my house that has a hole in the wall. Good night. The next day I did the usual, clean some stuff, and then I started feeling the effects of my gender being poison. So I frantically ran to a gender shift terminal, and lucky me, I'm now a symbiote. Let's see what I wrote that night. I sold a spine. I did do that. Didn't get much from it though, to be honest with you. And I ended my play session there. I'm way more excited to play this game than I ever expected I would be. I really enjoyed my time exploring and listening to groovy alien tunes. Definitely check this out if you like weird little indie things. I give Diaries of a Spaceport Janitor 4 out of 5 spines. We will now be entering the next category. Ooh, what could it be? What could it be? Ooh. It's cleaning likes. These are games that feature cleaning, but the gameplay is more akin to another genre, like Dustforce. This is a 2D platformer that is absolutely packed with style and one of my favorite video game soundtracks ever. It plays kind of like N++, but now you're a janitor, which is infinitely better. There's a ton of levels available, including some very challenging ones, as well as a level editor. There are 4 characters to choose from with their own small movement differences, and you get to clean up a variety of things like dust, leaves, and goo by just walking over them. Some objects are a little more difficult, and you gotta slap them to clean them, like these gargoyles. First time in a game I've slapped a gargoyle. The controls are very floaty. It's just kind of how the game plays, and it's not a bad feel, but man, I am total butt at this game. And you know, usually it'd get annoying to suck at a game, but Dustforce is so chill, I enjoy playing it either way. I've gone through quite a few levels now, and I'd recommend it to anyone looking for a relaxing time platforming and cleaning. I'm gonna give it 4 out of 5 gargoyles. It's pretty good. Serial Cleaner is a game where you play as this guy, and he lives with his mom. Apparently she makes a killer meatloaf. And on his day job, he's a cleaner. What does he clean, you may ask? Crime scenes. Specifically, before the cops can get all the evidence. It feels kind of like playing the aftermath of Hotline Miami. It's definitely not my kind of jam. 2D stealth games just aren't really my thing, but it's still a solid game. Speaking of jam, I don't know what it is about these cleaning likes, but they have some good music. This soundtrack is big stanky. It's got big stank energy. It is great. If you like being a stealthy little cleaning man and enjoy yourself a nice meatloaf, this is your game. 3 out of 5 meatloaf. The final category is the sneaky ones. These have little features related to cleaning, but don't put it in the forefront of the gameplay. And I'm gonna speed through these because there's a handful of them. Chicory is basically like a coloring book video game, and there's little bits of trash you can pick up around the map. Also, you just play as a dog that's a janitor, so that's pretty cool. Stardew Valley lets you collect trash and recycle it to get random goodies. You could say storage management and cleaning up the farm are in the same vein as a cleaning game, but this one doesn't have a source backing it, so don't use it in your essay or your teacher will arrest you. Hypnospace Outlaw has a janitor application that you can download online, and you clean up files to get Hypnocoin. This is a toughie though, you can't mess it up at all, or you have to restart. Something's wrong with me, because when I was getting footage for this, I played it for like 10 minutes. I don't know why I did that, but hey, I made the little robot guy say hamburger helper.
Hamburger helper.
And with that, we have concluded the virtual janitor journey. What was the point of this video? Honestly, I have no idea. Maybe it's to prove that cleaning in video games is worthy of your time. Or maybe I just wanted an excuse to bring up Float On by Modest Mouse in a video. Yeah, it was definitely that last one. Have you heard of this site called Twitter.com? If not, congratulations. But if you have, I'm sorry, my condolences. And you should follow me there. I put up teasers for videos, tweet out some stuff sometimes. Some of it's funny, I think. If you want to support my content directly, the thing that means the most to me is just sharing it with other people. But you can also check out my Patreon if that's more your speed. Thank you for watching my video.